Hey everyone. So I'm down in my basement kind of just winterizing all my gear, and I realized that I haven't done a gear related video in a while. I've done a lot of kind of camping and hiking videos lately. So I figured while I'm got my gear kind of all strung out, I'd show you guys some of my favorite pieces of gear that I almost always take with me on a camping or backpacking trip. And not in any particular order. We're going to start it out with, this is a Western Mountaineering sleeping bag made in the USA, which is always nice. This here is their Antelope 5-degree bag, which is also has their microfiber cloth, which I love this thing just because it's super warm. The fabric's incredibly soft. The down is very high quality, so it compresses down really small. This bag weighs under 3 pounds for a 5-degree bag, which basically it's overkill for most situations that I take it out in, but it means I'll never be cold, and that's important to me. I don't like being cold at night. Got some great features. It has a draft tube that runs along the length of the zipper. The zipper is a two-way zipper, so you can poke your feet out or something if that's something you'd like to do. You can also unzip it completely, and if you get another Western Mountaineering bag with the zipper on the opposite side, you can zip the two bags together. I have never done that, but it's something you can do. Yeah, you got the draft tube down the side. It has a really nice plush draft collar that you can cinch down, and of course has a good cinch on the hood, which I find to be really comfortable on the hood cinch. It comes right up to like my nose and mouth and doesn't like overcrowd me. So anyway, that's the Western Mountaineering Antelope 5-degree bag. Absolutely love it. Take it on pretty much every trip because it's the lightest sleeping bag I own, believe it or not, and also the warmest, so I never sleep cold. Alright, next up is my ThermaRest NeoAir All Season sleeping pad. I just showed you the really nice sleeping bag I have, and if you want to sleep warm, you probably know you got to pair a good sleeping bag with a good sleeping pad, and this is it. Love this thing. Probably my favorite things about it are you get a high R value for a decent amount of weight. It's pretty mid-range as far as weight goes. I don't remember the exact weight. I think it's like 15 or 14 ounces. But it packs down really small. For anybody who doesn't know, these Neo Air pads, instead of using like insulation or something underneath them to give the insulation like as far as like down or synthetic or something, they have air baffles in them, and then they've laminated in like a mylar space blanket material. So even just laying on this for the couple seconds that I have, I can feel the heat on my back being reflected back up to me. These things are amazing. It's like, it feels like you lay down and a few seconds later somebody turned a heat blanket on underneath you. So I just love them for that. People kind of complain that they kind of are really noisy, crinkly, like potato chips. I've found that the more you use it, the less like that kind of goes away. This is about what it packs down to. This is my wife's. It's also a ThermaRest NeoAir. Hers is the X-Therm, which is the warmest one that they make, or at least at the time. This is a couple of years old. The NeoAir All Season has a R value of 4.9. I don't remember the X-Therm exactly, but it's over 5. It's a little bit warmer than this one. But they both pack down to about that size, which is like just a little bit over a liter Nalgene size. So anyway, that's the NeoAir All Season sleeping pad. Just love it. Just super warm. Can't beat it. Alright, next up is my Tarptent StratoSpire2, which this is it packed away in its stuff sack. Give you the size. I mean, it's a couple liters, probably under 5 as far as volume. Weighs, I want to say, like 40 ounces or something like that. Sets up with trekking poles, and it's dark outside, so I can't set it up for you, but I mean, pretty much any hiking or backpacking video I've done since I got it has this in it, so you can go look at those. And I've also done a really lengthy first impressions kind of walkthrough video, and everything in that video still holds. I just love this thing. It's so awesome about keeping the rain out. It packs down nice and small. It uses trekking poles, which in most situations I like to carry anyway. So that's the Tarptent StratoSpire2. Not much to show in this video, but go check out my other videos if you're interested. I think I've got a little bit of familiarity with other tents from Tarptent, and I just think they're awesome. I think they're an awesome company, really well thought out products. So StratoSpire2 sleeps 2 people with their gear very comfortably. It can sleep 3 people. I've never done that. But for 2 people and a dog and gear, it's just perfect. It has a pretty large footprint, but you have these gigantic vestibules with it. It's just I think it's an awesome tent. Love it. Alright, next up is my pillow. Kind of getting a sleeping theme going with this video, so you can probably tell I like to sleep well. But this is the Nemo Fillo pillow, and I just, again, really like it. It's a little heavier than some pillows, but for me it's worth the weight for just the luxury. It's got an integrated stuff sack there that kind of tucks into its own little pocket. Goes away. You've got this webbing on the back so you can stuff things underneath it to raise it up if you want. So it's got like a, I don't know, probably 3/4 inch thick piece of like memory foam material in there, and then it's got suede type fabric on the top. It's not really suede, but it kind of feels that way. It's like a fleecy material. And then you've got the inflatable portion as well, so you can, what I really like about it is that you blow it up however firm you want, and then that memory foam just gives you this nice layer of comfort between the air pad and your head. So you can just dial it in to however soft or firm you want, and then that memory foam gives you a nice plush surface, just downright luxurious. You can definitely get cheaper, lighter pillows than this, but it's a luxury item, and I love it. Again, that's the Nemo, there you go, Nemo Fillo pillow. Okay, next up are my stoves. Not just a single stove here, but these are the kind of really 2 stoves that I just have come to adore and would recommend highly to anybody. We'll start out with the alcohol stoves. I've done plenty of videos about these. This is a DIY Fancy Feast style stove that has the carbon felt wick material in it, and then this here is like a chopped down version. You can kind of see just the comparison there. If you were to take the one in my right hand here and cut it about halfway through, and then you take that band that you get on the top, turn it upside down, and press the bottom cup portion into it, and that's how you make the chopped down version. But I just love these stoves because they're just bomb-proof, really. I mean, of course, obviously, if you stepped on it, it would not turn out very well. But when I say bomb-proof, I mean that they're just reliable. I mean, these stoves, I've done a video test where these stoves will light up with cold fuel in sub-zero conditions. You don't have to do any priming or anything. You set your pot on, light it, and go. It's very simple, and just I've never had one fail me. They work really well. They boil decently fast. Really like them. Then my white gas stove here is the old trusty SVEA 123. I've done a video recently about this mini silent burner cap from Bernie Dog that I've acquired, which is a nice little addition, makes the stove run a lot quieter. I still carry, I don't know, here it is. I still, when I carry the stove, I carry the standard roarer plate because it performs better when it's windy. But if it's not very windy, I really like the kind of silent, or well, I say silent, but quieter version with the cap there in place. But I've done a detailed review of this SVEA 123 stove, and definitely check that out if you want more information. It's just an awesome stove. I mean, the design is decades old. That stove there is way older than I am. I actually think it's older than my father. it just works. It has never failed me once again. And like kind of the theme with my stove choices here is just reliability. You can tell that's what's most important to me. These stoves just work. They work every single time. I've had stoves in the past where I am finicking with it and just can't get it to run properly or can't get it to light quickly. And when you're hungry and tired, it will piss you off in a real hurry if your stove doesn't work. So that's why I've settled on these stoves. They just work every single time. No frills about it, and they're awesome. Highly recommend. Okay, next up is a little DIY reflectix cozy pouch. I made this to the same dimension so that it fits a standard like mountain house, backpacker's pantry, or whatever style freeze-dried meal. And it also fits a quart-sized freezer bag really well. And so it's pretty basic. It's just like a pouch bag. You put your rehydrated meal in there. And then the nice thing is for camping in Colorado, when it tends to cool off quite a bit at night and you're at elevation, and a lot of those meals take a lot longer to cook than is stated on the packaging. This here gets the job done and makes sure that your meal's still piping hot once you're ready to eat it. So yeah, it's a real basic item, but I just love it. It really makes having a hot meal quicker and easier and more enjoyable. Okay, the last item from my favorite gear list is my Opinel No. 7 knife. If I'm usually carrying a knife with me into the woods, and this has been my favorite one. It's just really lightweight, really basic and simple, and it just has a lot of capability for such a lightweight, basic little knife. This is the carbon steel version. I doubt I'm going to be able to get the camera to focus on it, but this is a carbon steel blade. Very affordable. This knife is like under $20, I want to say. I've carried it a lot to the point where all the paint and stuff has rubbed off the handle, but it takes on a nice character and charm. It just packs a lot of blade length. I don't know the exact specs, but a lot of blade length in a compact little lightweight package. I think the Opinel locking system is really solid, robust. I mean, it gets you all the knife I'd mainly need if I'm not having a campfire. If I'm having a campfire, I'll usually take a fixed blade knife, but for any other camp tasks, you know, prepping some tinder, cutting string, cutting food, whatever, it just works really well. It's got a nice thin blade, so it slices really well for food prep. I just really like it, and I'd highly recommend any of the Opinel style knives. If you get anything from a No. 6 or higher, it will have this locking ring mechanism that just twists, a little twist lock action. If you get a No. 5 or lower, it will not have that, so just be aware. But anyway, that's the Opinel No. 7. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about anything you saw here. But that is my favorite gear that I pretty much carry all the time because I like it so much. Thanks.